Hi, I'm Jess.
Hi, my name's Emma Stone.
I'm Jess Seymour, also known as Seymour Snaps.
I am a music photographer based in Leeds.
I've been shooting gigs for about 13 years, I think it is.
I do it at the moment just on the side, but I'd love to make a career out of it. I got into music photography because I bought a camera when I finished my GCSEs, getting ready to do film at A-level.
I think the appeal of music photography as a career would be, depending on which avenue you go down, the travel involved is amazing. Depending if you can get in with some bigger bands that do worldwide tours, then you get to see the world for free and get paid to do it at the same time.
When you're getting into the music industry and like getting into photography, the best thing is just to like meet as many people, talk to as many people, like just take a camera to a gig.
Practice, just practice as much as you can.
It's usually really dark when you start out because you're at local venues with like no lights.
If you can light a shitty little club, you can work in that situation as well.
You really need to know what your camera does and how the settings affect each other, and I didn't, and it was a bad idea, and it's probably the stupidest thing I've ever done, really. It would have been ridiculous to try and charge for that.
I've only just started charging for my photography. For years and years I used to just shoot it for free because it was something that I enjoyed.
Getting to a point where you can tour or be brought on full-time as a photographer or even part-time is particularly hard because so many people do it for free.
And it's quite a contentious subject between a lot of the paid photographers because they think it takes away from their work, because if they ask for a certain rate and then there's another photographer that will work for free, a lot of the time the management will go for the free photographer. And a lot of the time you don't even get your travel expenses covered, so you're not even breaking even on the gig, you're at a loss every time you go at one.
And that's the struggle that photographers who freelance and everything, that's the struggle that they face, because people are like, I know someone that'll do this for free, but it's like, they shouldn't have to do it for free because it's like, photography is expensive, so expensive. I get really overwhelmed when I shoot gigs.
I think it was earlier on this year, I shot Wargasm at Key Club and I couldn't leave. It was so packed out, I was just hemmed in at the front.
You do get a lot of, energy and interesting sort of shots from that, but obviously you do have that slight danger that you're bringing a very expensive camera into an audience.
And there was just constant crowd surfers and stage diving back into the crowd. I got booted in the head so many times, like my camera got kicked into my face. And it's half enjoyable, half horrible. There's been a couple of situations at gigs where guys will like put the hand on your waist or anything like that, and it's, you second guess yourself. I remember it happened last year, and I remember getting back home and writing a status about it and putting it on Facebook and being like, I don't know if I did the right thing by just not saying anything. And everyone was like, no, this guy shouldn't be touching you at all, unless, was he guiding the waist of the men around you? Was he doing this? And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I wish I'd said something, but
I used to feel embarrassed. You'd see all these men with big cameras, big lenses, and I'd just be there with like my camera that I got when I was 16.
I do think there is a slight dominance of males, which I don't really understand because I'm not at that level yet to see it.
I think probably because these older men have been working in this industry for a really, really long time, before digital cameras were even a thing. So they are the ones I usually find that have the paid jobs working for agencies or working for magazine outlets or something. So I guess they've just had the jobs for a really long time.
You do meet some genuinely lovely guys within the music industry, but there are a few that think that they are the best and that there is no room for any of these women.
It makes you a bit nervous sometimes when you look up and it's more male dominated, and it doesn't quite add up because a lot of the photographers I know on my level are female. So where does it suddenly cross over and it becomes male?
Social media is such a massive thing now. Like, people will be looking on Instagram for photographers like all the time.
I think about social media every time I edit anything or when I do photos, because I want to post the photos, I want them to look good.
I think it's a really good tool for getting your photos seen, especially by the bands as well.
I think being credited is something every photographer has an issue with at some point.
Especially when it's free work, there is some issues with people not crediting and like people re-editing photos. Why have I stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning editing these photos for 1, no credit, and 2, for you to re-edit?
Sometimes it doesn't feel like it's worth the effort in terms of editing and how long it takes to make some of the photos.
All of it is worth it, especially looking back at what you did at the start of the year and seeing how like your style has changed, and like being able to physically look at something and be like, that was a moment that I will never forget, makes it all 100% worth it.
Overall, on the whole, I've done it myself, and not just my live stuff, like because I do shoot portraits and stuff as well. All that's self-taught, so I am proud to have gotten to where I am.
I've done the biggest venues and the biggest gigs with the biggest artists that I ever have this year, which I forget about sometimes, which is just insane.